One gentleman who loves his football and loves playing for Arsenal is Bukayo Saka, because we now know he's signed a new 4-year contract with Arsenal, keeps him there until 2027. Danny, what do you make of the numbers that are being spoken about? This comes reportedly after strong interest from other clubs in Saka. A similar situation maybe with Mason Mount. I'll get to that in a second. But Saka, with bonuses, is going to go on to 280 grand a week. Now, that's a lot of money, trebling his current wages. First off, has he proven his worth already at such a young age?
Well, I'm loath to always believe the media numbers. I always think it's going to be a bit lower. In my experience playing football, every time I read about what someone was earning, I knew what they were earning. It was always a bit more in the press for some reason. They like to add a bit on and bump it up to a fee that he would be getting if he won 6 European Cups, 5 Ballon d'Ors, 4 top goal scorers and played every minute of every season. So let's say he's on a couple of £100,000 a week. That's probably about right for a player of his potential and quality, what he's already done in today's games. A lot of players earning that who aren't as good. Whether that's right or wrong is a different subject. But yeah, it wouldn't worry me that he's what he's earning. I think it's fantastic that he's signed. I think it's brilliant that he's committed. I would probably have him at the top of my list of players that I would not worry about his attitude or application based on earning more money and affecting him. He looks like he comes from really good family, good people around him. He's a humble, hard-working young man, super talented. And it wouldn't concern me one bit if I was an Arsenal fan, the figures he's getting, because I don't think it'll change his attitude or his desire to do well.
Where are you with the too much, too young attitude argument that might be brought into this?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely an argument for too much, that players get too much too young. I can only talk from personal experience where everything was you do your YTS, you get a pro. You get a pro, you get in the first team. You get in the first team, you get in the dressing room with the first team lads. You do well in the first team, you get your decent contract. Everything, you were always striving for something. I was never around people who were earning thousands of pounds a week before ever playing a first team game. Now, as I started playing later, I remember at Fulham, for example, some lads played the first game or come off the bench, whatever, and next week you see him with a Range Rover in the car park, and Simon will have seen this more than I would. The lads he looked, at his club for years. I think there has to be an incentive other than just the football for players to really push on. Now, some players have a mindset, it doesn't matter what the money they're getting, and they just keep going, they just keep pushing. But I think a lot fall into the trap of thinking they've made it before they've made it because of the wealth and the nice car and the status that brings.
But he's not. He doesn't fall into this category.
I don't see
Far
it
from it. I mean, he's being offered. This is what they've been offered, and they're accepting it.
Well, I think your question to me, I was talking more a couple of years back in Saka's journey, or than he is now. I mean, he's established himself as a Premier League player for the last few years and international player. So he's well past.
Yeah.
But I don't think the only thing for Saka for me, the only thing is where can he? What's his ceiling? So I'm looking at him thinking, with his ability, his strength, his quick feet, his two-footedness, his strikes, his goals. He's got 14 this season and double-figure assists. Where can he go? So when you look at the best right wingers scoring the most goals, Salah's a great example of someone who always score goals. Now, can Saka get another 20% out of him, 25% out of him in the next couple of years and start hitting 20, 25 goals a season and 15 assists and really pushing on again? I think he can.
Well, I mean, Simon, I know you would probably agree that this is good. This is good to see it. A club investing so heavily in an academy product.
Yeah.
Because this is what you're after. But then on the other side of the coin, you get Mason Mount. And now stories that he's going to be out of Chelsea, and I know, Danny, you're a big fan of Mounts, that he's going to be out of Chelsea sooner than later in a £55 million deal that will take him to Manchester United.
Yeah.
So while Saka stays, Mount looks as if he's off.
Yeah.
Two academy prospects.
Sure, but it's horses for courses. Just because you've got an academy to produce young players, it doesn't mean that the outcome is always going to be that those young players are going to stay with you ad infinitum. Going to Danny's point about salaries, my tragic experience was I didn't believe the salaries of players when I first bought a football club, and I found out actually my experiences were that the salaries that they were demanding and the ones that were reporting in the papers were understated against what you were having to pay these players. The trouble for a player that's getting this kind of money is the alternative is they run the clock down, they go out the door, and you're in this invidious situation as a club that you are not wanting. Nobody really thinks that a 21, 22-year-old kid should be getting £200,000 a week in football. They think that they should build their trade. They know there's great rewards in the business of sport, and ultimately you get it when you've got this great big body of work behind you. But because of the change of the legislation around contract laws, because of the Bosman ruling, because of the nature of trying to protect your assets and the inherent value of them, you're forced into this position. The key
component. They're special. They merit it, no?
Well, the key component is that it's never about the money. It really isn't about the money. It's about being paid what you're worth. But the most important thing is being worth what you're paid. And too many footballers are getting paid something that they're not worth. And that's the economics of football. The trickle-down effect that doesn't exist in other parts of the world does exist in football, because top players get paid top money, and then average players get paid top money as well. And you think to yourself, why am I paying mediocrity? This boy is on a journey. If you talk to Arsenal fans, and I've got a lot of them, my mates think he's going to be the second coming. Right? I have my reservations. I think he might follow the pathway of Raheem Sterling and be a very good player, but not be the world-class, well-beater that people think he might be.
Ooh, okay.
But the problem is, Jim, it's like the Wilfried Zaha argument, isn't it? We're talking about Wilfried Zaha coming out of contract at 31 years of age, and Palace potentially offering him £200,000 a week, and people scratching their head. The alternative is you let him go, you pay someone that's 50 million quid to replace him, and you've got to pay the fella 200 grand a week anyway, because that's the salary of a 50 million pound footballer.
Yeah.
It's about, if he must have, Arsenal are quite good at this, he must be wrapped with the right people around him to not allow this huge economic benefit that he's going to get to distract him from his evolution as a footballer. Well, that's the point that must be focused
and the other thing, just quickly on this, Arsenal with this are doing the right thing, but also if you look at the history of Arsenal, when you're talking Fabregas, Van Persie, Sanchez, all these people who they let go out of contract and end up not protecting the asset in the first place because they didn't want to be held to ransom.
Right.
Saka, you've got to get it. That is done. Like, well done. Just don't learn from your past mistakes.
Well, Simon, this could be the start, because you said yesterday Arsenal need to spend 200 million this summer to maintain top four next season.
That's not retaining Saka. That's buying other players to supplement what they need to be able to continue this progress that they are on. Yeah, how to maintain it, quite frankly.
I'll put it out there, actually. Arsenal fan, Saka, 4-year deal. How important is his signing? I mean, is this probably going to be the signing of your summer? The fact he's committed himself to 2027. And Simon said it yesterday, and he stands by it today, that your football club would need to spend, on top of Saka's deal, 200 million quid this summer to maintain top four next season. You with that? You in that camp? You can give us a call on that. 03717 223344 810 89.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.